Hey guys, it's the weekly challenge number 43, and this week we are going all in on journaling because that aligns so well with becoming more self-aware, and that is the theme of January. So stay tuned if you want to hear all the details. So last week we tried to get more in tune with who we are and what direction we want to go in life, what we're good at and what we're not so good at. This time we're gonna continue in, feeling how we are feeling, taking notice of what emotions that are going on within us, what is happening throughout our days, having that radar turned on and doing some reflecting through the act of writing these things down. That is what this weekly challenge is about. And if you haven't done last week's challenge, it's okay. You can start with this one. It doesn't matter, but just make sure to do it when you have time. So if you look to the definition of self-awareness, it means being conscious to one's emotions and feelings. Just being aware. And that is something that journaling will really help us do. Now, in order to translate that to any practical application, being able to take in our emotions and feelings, that means that we have to have this radar turned on. We need to be alert of what's going on, awareness. And that is why we're going to use journaling as a tool for doing that. But the very act of journaling, it's secondary. First, we have to be active. We have to be aware throughout our days, what's happening around us. Being aware, that is the first step. Then we can take it to the journaling part. Because being aware, allowing ourselves to feel things, it's not everybody's melody, if you understand what I mean. A lot of us are suppressing all kinds of emotion because it's certainty. We know what we get when we don't have to deal with ups and downs. It's just certainty, and we like certainty. But the problem is we can't turn off just the bad feelings. That means turning off the good ones as well. There is nothing in between, at least not to the shame researcher Brené Brown. So when we turn it all off, we say no to living a life that can be just awesome, to experience it the way it should be experienced. You need to allow yourself to have feelings. So if you want to live life the way it should be lived, you have to make that deal with yourself. Even if it will make you suffer from time to time, even if it will create emotional scars within you. But it's worth it. It's freaking worth it. So, how will the very act of journaling help us become more self-aware? Well, besides all the benefits that the studies keeps proving journaling to have, like calming us down and relieving us from stress, creativity, just being more happy people. But besides those benefits, the act of journaling makes us relieve ourselves from all the thoughts we have, from all the clutter in our head. It makes us empty our mind. It makes us clearer, and we can look at the things that has happened, the things that we write out in a new perspective, with new glasses. It can make us make connections between things. We have this overview that enables us to draw whole other conclusions. I'm not only talking from over 10 years of my own experience of doing journaling, but when you look at the masters like Benjamin Franklin, Leonardo da Vinci, well, a lot of great actors, great-minded people, they all journaled. Maybe it's hard to specify in particular, but when you have been doing it for as long as I have, you just know it's a keeper, and it's just a tool that is a necessity in your life if you want to develop yourself in the most efficient way. So, how are we going to do this? Well, let's keep it simple. Now, there's tons of ways of going about journaling, and I actually do it in a rather complex way. I journal about everything, about work, about social relationships, about training, food diary, everything. But that's not the way to go about starting a new habit. When you're starting something new, you want to lower the bar. You want to rather overachieve and go beyond what you set out to do than underperform. So we are gonna start a very, very easy habit. I'm outlining a few questions that you can find in the descriptions that you will be answering each morning and each evening. That is the idea here, to just through the very act of answering 3-4 questions, you will get going. And if you feel eager and if you feel motivated, something happens throughout the day, take out your journal and write down what happened, how it made you feel. Do some reflecting concerning that event or whatever it could have been that just stood out to you, made you feel stuff. That's perfect for some journaling. But the minimum bar for this challenge, the objective, is to just answer a few questions. What are you grateful for today? Could be 1 or 2, 3 things. What are you enthusiastic about for the day that is about to start? And thirdly, is there anything that is happening throughout this day that is maybe concerning you a little bit? And how would the ideal version of you handle this situation? Now that's the 3 questions intended for the earlier part of the day, preferably the morning. And then on the evening, there's 2 more questions. What were your 3 top moments that happened throughout the day? And if you were to relive this day, would it be something that you would have done in a different way, a better way? Those are the questions that you are intended to answer throughout the day. And in the end of the week, the idea is, on Friday perhaps, that you look through your journals. What have you written? What happened? Maybe you can see some patterns like, oh, this guy which I talked to a few times, he really made me feel really great. I really enjoy his company. Maybe it's someone I should spend more time with. Or maybe you can see that, oh, I had this fast food. It was just made me so tired. I really didn't get anything good out of that. It's a time for doing some secondhand reflection and draw some conclusions. Connect the dots. So that is what the end of the week reflection is all about. And if you want to, you can do that during my live session on Friday, which I always do on Friday, 6 o'clock Swedish time. So when we're starting this journaling habit, we have to make up some ground rules. At least I will suggest some ground rules, but you can do it in whatever way that suits you, because this is a matter of creating a habit that is customized for you. You have to make this enjoyable. You have to like this. And just bluntly taking what I'm saying, maybe that's not the best fit for you. That's why you need to tweak it to make it fit you. But when designing a habit, you talk about the cue, when you do it, the routine, how you do it, and then the reward. That is how we're going about this habit. So firstly, I want you to find a cue, a time or a location when you do this journaling. For me, it will be in the morning when I come to the office, sitting down. I'm going to open my notebook. I'm going to answer these questions. And then throughout the day when it's relevant. But the very first act, the cue, will be the trigger for me to start the journaling practice. I want you to find your personal cue, preferably in the morning, so you get started. And then it comes to the routine, the habit, how we go about journaling. And I want you to, besides answering these questions, also think about what is happening. Is this something that is standing out, that makes you feel in any particular way? Write about what you were thinking and how it made you feel, and see if you can make some kind of conclusion. That is the idea. And I almost forgot, you need something to write in. Now, the most important thing is that you actually are writing somewhere. For me, it doesn't really matter in what shape or form that is. If you prefer to just write in your phone because that's the only thing that you always are keeping with you, maybe that's the best solution for you. Or if you're the type that really like a big notebook, maybe that's the way you should go about it. There's a lot of different ways of journaling, and if you read the description, you can see that I've outlined some suggestions. Then we come to the reward, where you actually find something that makes you feel good after you've done this. So you can anchor a good emotion to the routine, the habit, that makes it in the end be autonomous. It makes you want to go back to the habit. And for me, the journaling, the reward of journaling, is the sensation of being clear in my head, feeling empty, and just like I've talked out an issue, or just emptied my head. And for me, that is a reward in itself. It's just a tremendous feeling. But if that's not the case for you, or if in the beginning of something doesn't feel that way, you could actually attribute something small, like maybe a piece of chocolate, or maybe allowing yourself to eat breakfast after you've done the journaling. Find something that fits you. So that is it. That's this week's challenge. I hope you are as excited as I am, because this is something I really journaling, I've done it for so long, and I truly have felt the tremendous power in it. So I wish you the best of luck. Make sure to look through the channel in the week and see if I will come up with any videos relating to this topic, because I will. And if you haven't, and if you want this coming to you without you having to do anything about it, hit the subscribe button so you can get this, so you will be notified when something happens. But also make sure to join me on Friday when I do the live session, as I always do. It's a weekly evaluation where I go through the weekly challenge, how it has been very briefly, and then we on an individual level do some evaluation of the week, our goals, and so forth. So please join me for that. And with that being said, I am thanking you for watching this video. My name is Alexander Nilsson. Thank you for watching. Bye guys.